Hello and welcome! Today I'm here to do a video about all the books that I have to read for my classes this semester. I have two literature classes this semester. The first one is Victorian Literature, which may really interest you, so I will start with the other one, which is Portuguese literature from the 20th century. And that basically includes Pessoa, which is one of our greatest, if not the greatest poet of Portuguese language, and probably you've heard of him, and I've seen some people hold the Book of Disquietment by him, which makes me really proud. But yeah, that's not what we have to read for this class at all. We have to read two books, and neither of them are by Pessoa. The first one is Confissão de Lúcio by Mário de Sá Carneiro. Mário de Sá Carneiro was a very big friend of Fernando Pessoa, and he really was into that futurism sort of thing, and then he killed himself in the beginning of the century, in 1916 or something like that. The other book we have to read is Nome de Guerra, or Name of War, by José de Almada Negreiros. Now, Almada Negreiros is a very weird character that lived almost all through our 20th century. He's a really interesting guy, and he's really weird and crazy, and he does some quirky poetry, which I will leave down below, and it's called Manifesto Antidentes, and it's really interesting to hear someone read it because it's really powerful and fun. That being said, these two books are a narrative, so they are novels. They are not poetry, they are novels, which is good because I don't actually read poetry except if it's Camões, which is not in this video. So yeah, The Confession of Lúcio and The Name of War, and I will leave links down below if you want to check them out. Now for my Victorian literature class, and I know all of you are more interested in this, I have 4 books, and they are all very dark and mysterious, and they are all from the late Victorian period, and that's because that's what my teacher decided to focus on, so shame on me because I love Bronte and North and South, but oh well, what can I do? The first one is Dr. Jekyll and Mr Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I hope this is in focus, and I really enjoy this book. I've already read it. This is a beautiful cover from the Penguin English Library edition. It was a very short novel. I mean, it's a novella, not a novel. And on the corner of my head, it spoiled me on the back, so I already knew the plot twist before I read it. That being said, I enjoyed it tremendously. I give it 4 or 5 stars, which is a very big surprise, because as you probably heard me tell before, I don't like horror or thriller or suspense. So yeah. The next book is She by H. Rider Haggard. So I know not everybody is familiar with the story. I'm not either, but if what I know is correct, this is about some guy who goes to Africa, and there's this white woman who is a sorcerer, and basically she's like a demon because, let's be real, all the female characters written by men in this period are usually bad. I'm gonna end up really angry about this. The next book is this thing that I've always heard is really hard to read. And the teacher said it was hard to read. And then I'm like, oh god, it must be giant. But it's not very big. But it must be really complicated because it's Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. And I've heard a lot of people hate this book. I heard a lot of people not getting through it. Well, that doesn't serve me because I have to get through it and I have to read it. And I have to read the other one that's coming until the end of April, so be strong, Mariana, be strong. I have no idea what this is about, except I'm almost sure it's about imperialism and colonization of Africa in the 19th century. And apparently it's horror as well, so I will talk to you about my funny joke about horror in the next one. But basically I don't read horror, and all of a sudden I have to read 4 novels about horror. And yeah, this is basically the worst to read because it's really hard to get through the writing. even though it's not that big, because the next one is not that hard to understand, it's just big. And that book is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Now everybody knows this is almost mandatory in every single Victorian literature class. So I wasn't surprised, even though when I was searching for this book at the store, my dad made a joke about it. Obviously, he was like, "Are you reading horror?" And I'm like, "It's not my fault. I have to." And I've already shown this book to you in the last haul I did. Even though it's not my genre, as all of these books are not, I have to read it and I have to love it. So, I mean, I'm hoping it will be a surprise, just like Dr. Jekyll and Mr Hyde was, and I will actually end up loving it. Even if I just love the writing style, I'm hoping I get something out of this that will get me through it. This one is much larger than all the other ones because the letters are so small. So yeah, because the letters are so small, I'm really afraid of how big this book actually is. That being said, it's a tale that everyone needs to know about, especially if you're studying English literature. And it's so important, and so it made such an impact in today's scheme of things, you know, just, you know, vampires. Everyone was obsessed with vampires 4 years ago, so yeah. I will do my presentation and specifically about the women on this, and I can relate to the others in the other books, so I will get pretty angry probably, but let's obviously I have to read it, so let's not give it a go. Let's hopefully find this interesting and good, because I'm sure they are good in the literary sense of the word. I just don't know if they are for me, but who cares about it? It's mandatory reading. I would love to hear about your mandatory reading. Let me discuss the lack of female authors in this pile. I am so mad at the fact that a teacher, a woman, I have a woman teacher as my Victorian literature teacher, did not include one single female author. One. And that being said, this is all for me today, guys. All my media stuff is down below. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up or subscribe, and I hope to see you soon in the next one. Bye!